Welcome back to the channel, guys. So you're in the market for a brand new G82 M4 or G80 M3 and you want to know what options you should spec the car out with. I'm going to try to make that slightly easier for you guys with this video. As most of you know, I ordered this car at the end of February. It's a 2025 M4 Competition with xDrive, and I took delivery of the car at the end of April. So I pretty much had the car for around 5 months now. Put a couple thousand miles on it, and I figured this is probably the best time for me to give you guys a solid review and some feedback on the options I went with. I'll try to split this video up into two pieces. The first being 5 absolute must-have options that you guys need to go with for this car. And then I'll talk about, 5 options you might want to get based on personal preferences. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. And for me, in my opinion, the number one most important thing that you're gonna want to get with this car, the carbon bucket seats. Like, I don't know, this thing just puts a smile on my face, guys. Here, let's go ahead and check this out. So I was looking into getting this car. Everybody was telling me not to get this. They told me if I'm gonna daily drive this car, this is gonna be an absolute nightmare. They're not comfortable, they're not this, they're not that, but I'm here to tell you, getting these seats was the best decision that I made for this car. They are fully adjustable. You go forward, the tilt, now let's be serious. Out of all the seats out there on the market right now, these are probably the best looking stock seats that you're gonna find. They just look so sick, guys. So if you get in this car and you're on the fence about deciding on getting the carbon buckets or not based off of people telling you that they're not comfortable, they're not this, they're not that, my advice to you would be, just go take a test drive with a car that has carbon buckets, and then you decide for yourself if these are gonna be the right choice for you. And for me personally, you got to go with these things. If you're getting M4, it needs to look like this. So yeah, that's number one. The second thing that you're gonna want to option this car out with is the executive package. With this, you're gonna get 4 things. The first is gonna be the heads-up display right there. I'm hoping the camera catches it for you guys, but I think it is. And then you're gonna get a heated steering wheel. You're gonna get the remote start. And then you're also, here, let me grab my keys real quick. Get the power tailgate. This is not that expensive of a package considering everything that you get. I think it's like $1,400 or something like that. So yeah. The third must-have option that I think you guys need to go with is this right here. This is what they call the full merino leather. If you choose not to get this option, this entire area is just going to be black plastic. Considering the cost of the car and this option coming in at less than $3,000, this is an absolute must. You're going to be sitting in this front seat at all times. This is going to be your view, and just trust me, you want to see this entire thing. You'll probably end up modding the car and spending that money on other things that you could change out, but if you don't choose to get this from the start, you cannot add this later. So it's just be safe and go and trust me and get this option in there. The fourth must-have option is going to be the parking assistance package. This is a $700 option, and what this does is it's going to allow you to get all the cameras on the car. Super convenient, and this is an absolute must, so make sure to get that added on. And then the final must-have option, number 5, is definitely the M Shadowline lights. So what this does is pretty much blackens out the housing of your headlights. What I would suggest is just do a quick Google search on what it looks like when you don't get this option, but pretty much the car looks much more aggressive if you get this option put in. So yeah, that pretty much takes me through the top 5 options that I think you should definitely get on your new G8X order. now that we've gone over the 5 must-have options for this car, there are also 5 things that you're going to want to consider when making the purchase. The first obviously being the color. So BMW offers a lot of individual colors. It can get pretty overwhelming just to see the list that they have. So for myself, pretty boring. I usually just get a black car, I get it wrapped, change the color, then go back to black, but that's pretty much what I've always done. With this build though, I really wanted one of the purples. I also wanted to, you know, kind of thought about British Racing Green and a whole bunch of other greens, but I had to decide what was the most important thing for me. And for myself, it was the color of the interior. So once I pretty much realized that Fiona Red was an absolute must for me, that kind of narrowed down the options that I got. You know, not many things will look good with this interior, so I was left with a lot of the grays. I could go with black. I usually always go with black, so I ended up going with Brooklyn Gray, which I absolutely love. The color kind of changes under sunlight. It looks a little different at nighttime, but I think it complements my red interior very well. So if you're having a hard time deciding on color, I would suggest start with the color of the interior that you want and then make your choice based off of that. So yeah, after that, another thing that you're gonna want to look into is the steering wheel. So I wanted a, you know, I got the carbon buckets. I wanted a build that looked quite aggressive. So for me, I got the Alcantara steering wheel. This is only a $500 option. If you get this steering wheel, you're not gonna get the driving assistance package. That's like $1,700, $1,600 or something like that, but that's pretty much adaptive cruise control and things like that. But I was never gonna use that. I bought an M to drive it, so for me, not getting that was probably better because now my grille looks symmetrical. I don't have that box that would normally be situated in this corner right here. So yeah, you could choose the Alcantara wheel, or you could choose the leather one, which a lot of people, they both look great. You can't really go wrong with that. So that's number 2. Number 3, carbon ceramics. So this right here, an $8,500 option that I did not get. I'm gonna be modding my car. I'm gonna take it to the track a few times, but not really gonna track this car hard. So for me, I just ended up matching the red with my interior. Be warned, because I did not go with the carbon ceramics, the brake dust is absolutely atrocious. I have even the inner barrels of my wheels ceramic coated, but that really doesn't help. Yeah, I can wipe it off, but within 3 miles of me driving, these are gonna get caked. But it is what it is. I'll change the pads later on, but at $8,500 for me, it was not worth it, but it might be for a couple of you guys. So yeah, you can't really go wrong with it. If you want to get it, get it. It's not really a must, but a lot of people prefer it. So yeah, that is number 3. All right, let's talk about the 4th option that you guys might want to consider now, and that is the carbon exterior package. When I spec'd out this car, I did not choose the carbon exterior package. By the time I decided I wanted the exterior package, my car had already gone into production, so I could not change it anymore. But pretty much with the carbon exterior package, what you're going to get is a carbon rear diffuser, a carbon trunk lift, carbon side mirrors, and you're also going to get the carbon front scoops that go right here. Those look amazing. So after I realized my mistake, well, it wasn't really a mistake afterwards, because I was able to find these parts OEM. So these are genuine BMW parts that I purchased. I got the carbon mirror caps. I got the OEM carbon rear diffuser, and then this piece right here is not part of the carbon exterior package, but I also got the OEM carbon fender pieces right there. So other than that, the only non-OEM piece that's on my car, this right here is from R44 Performance. This is the MHC M4 style carbon. As you can see, the weave, it's almost exactly what the OEM one looks like. So this right here is not OEM. It's much thicker in terms of the size of the lip, and this is the OEM carbon down here. So it pretty much matches perfectly. So, you know, the package I think costs like $4,700. If you price it out, you're gonna get a price tag that is much higher than the $4,700. I got extremely lucky because I got a discount from the dealership. I think if you try to get this lip by itself, it's like $5,000 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Just that one piece costs more than the entire package. So you have options that are non-OEM that you could go with, aftermarket pieces, right? It'll be much cheaper than this. I wanted to go with OEM just because I wanted the fit to be perfect. I wanted the weave to be perfect. So either way, I just got lucky that I did not have to pay retail from BMW. So if you want to go the OEM route, you care about the fitment and you just need it to be the exact weave that it came from the factory, definitely make sure to get this added onto your spec sheet. Just way cheaper that way. It saves you a lot of headache. And you know, if you don't like the lip, like I didn't like the one that comes with the package, you could just end up getting a larger one regardless and taking that one off. So I think that's the better route. So yeah, that takes you to the fourth option. And the fifth and final thing that we're going to talk about, or you want to think about, is the driver assistance package. We touched on this a little bit at the beginning. You get that box right there. What it does is this allows you to get that adaptive cruise control. I got the Alcantara steering wheel, so I couldn't even spec out it if I wanted to, but I wasn't going to use that anyways. I bought the car to be driven. So for me, I would not have picked that package regardless. So grill looks much more symmetrical. So yeah, that is the fifth option. And the overall price for my spec sheet came out to $100,945. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. I pretty much got my dream build. Let me know if there's anything or any option that you guys have questions are, something I may not have covered. Yeah, and keep messaging me on Instagram, guys. So I love hearing back from you guys, the feedback, the recommendations on the videos that you guys want to see. I hope to keep making more content that's relevant for you. And guys, this is just, well, that's aesthetically phase one of my build. We did the PPF, we did some small things. We got the car tinted, we changed out the mid pipe, added the lip, but overall, you know, the car still looks the same stock height, ride height. But I did purchase a new carbon grill. No, it is not the CSL grill that everyone gets, so I'm excited to get that put on. I will be installing some front mount intakes, and I have some double slat lower front bumper carbon scoops that are going to go on. So stay tuned. Version 2 is coming very soon, and then I'll see you guys on the next one.